What is up? That's right, I have gone keto. Now, why would I go keto? I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm a bass fisherman, right? I'm active, business owner. A lot of people work and own businesses and things like that. But why would I go keto? Well, if you know anything about me, you know that I like to work out. Big fan of staying fit, working out. Worked out this morning. Matter of fact, you can see I got the First Form shirt on. They make good supplements, but it starts way before the supplements. It goes to diet, probably the most important thing. If you want to feel good and look good, then your workouts, then your supplements. But we're just going to talk about keto for today because it's a big change of pace for me, especially since for the last 2 years, I have been gone full vegan. Well, technically pesca vegan because I eat the shrimp and the fish. But the whole reason I did that was because my joints, like my knees were killing me. I was having issues, even walking downstairs, I was having problems. But that was, you know, that was something I felt like I was not even 40 and I was having all these knee pains. I've had meniscus repair, no big deal. But I was actually having more pain in my right knee than my left knee. The left knee is the one that I had the actual repair on. So I, basically just started doing research and I switched over to plant-based diet, and within 5 days, all that knee pain went away. And I was able to work out great, do all my squats and do all that kind of movement. If I would do some, jumping movements, a lot of plyometrics, I could feel that wear and tear on my knees, but it wasn't anything, anything drastic. But I have, been talking to a lot of people about nutrition and, what they should be doing to try to get to the, ideal weight that they want to be at and they can look and feel good. And one of the things I kept recommending to people, a lot of friends have done keto, was the keto diet. And if you're not familiar, the keto diet means that your body goes into ketosis with what you eat. And that can take anywhere from, 2 to 5 days based on your diet prior to going on keto. And in order to get into keto, you got to be, consume less than 20 carbs per day. Now, Dr. Atkins, back in the early 80s really kind of spearheaded this, but it goes further beyond that historically as far as nutrition goes. And I find it fascinating because, way back, I don't know, it was at least 50 years ago, they figured out that when people were in ketosis, it reduced epileptic seizures tremendously. So even nowadays, a lot of people that have seizures for whatever reason, or they could have Meniere's disease or some sort of inner ear situation, being on the keto, being in ketosis, so apparently almost eliminates the chances of having a seizure. I find that fascinating, or having episodes if you have Meniere's disease. But anyway, I find that stuff interesting, but there's also all kind of other research that being in ketosis does. So let's take a quick look inside the fridge here at the office, and it's a little messy. It's the office, we work here. There's a few do's and don'ts right off the bat. So like, okay, well, how do I eat without eating carbs? We could turn this into like an 1.5 hour long video, or we could just kind of hit the highlights, which is what we're going to do. As far as for me, before I eat every 3-4 hours at the latest. So I eat a lot of smaller mid-sized meals. And for me to convert from eating plant-based to eating mostly meat, there's a lot of good things. Like in the morning, I just have a big coffee. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but it's more of a coffee concoction because I put in a tablespoon of butter. That's good. Put in a tablespoon of coconut oil, liquid coconut oil, like this right here. And then I put in a little bit of heavy whipping cream, all of that stuff, 0 carbs, all fat. I put that in there, put a little immersion blender in there. I put in some artificial sweetener, you know, either stevia or this stuff right here works good. All that's keto friendly because it's absolutely 0 carbs. Eat that, drink that in the morning, gives you a little pep in your step, no doubt. And all those fats in there help keep you full for at least 3 to 4 hours. I really like it. You know, gives you plenty of calories. It's not like you're going calorie deficient right off the bat, but we're gonna start in the freezer actually. And once I do get hungry, like mid-morning, I hit some of these pork sausages, and you try to get the ones with no added preservatives and no nitrates and et cetera, et cetera. But the real deal with the keto is looking on the back in the nutritional label. And as you can see right there, it says 1 carb. Most of the sausage patties will say 0 carbs. You can even eat hot dogs. You can eat ground chuck hamburgers. You know, here's a leftover piece of hamburger I had. You can have hot dogs, but like I said, you gotta check the back out. Make sure it's 0 or only 1 carb, because these people are sneaky. They'll slip some sugars in on you. You don't know what's going on. And, you know, real cheese, 0 carbs. But you also want to make sure that you have some healthy fats in there too. Avocado is great. There's a little bit of carbs in the avocado, so you just got to be careful. Because remember that 20 number is your cumulative for the whole day, and now the keto diet's gotten more popular. There's all kind of little snacks that you can eat. The Atkins makes some good stuff, but there's still, you know, there's 3 net carbs in one of these little things. If you have like a little sweet craving, what I do is I'll usually take like 1 bite of it after each meal, and most of the time I don't even eat 1 whole one during the day. Like, look at this one. I've taken 2 little mouse bites off of it, and that gives me all the little, you know, sense of sweetening I need. But if you do get hungry and you want a bigger snack, dude, pork rinds, stop it. Pork rinds, they get all kind of different flavors, and just look on the back, make sure it's 0 carbs. But those can definitely fill you up. But to get back to the keto and why I'm doing the keto, I've been on it almost 2 weeks now. I would say that's enough time to let my body get adjusted. And as I mentioned earlier, like 2 to 5 days is what it takes for people to get into ketosis. And if you know, there's all kind of people talking about, oh, you gotta, you know, watch out for the keto flu. You feel terrible. You're gonna run a fever. You know, there is a transition, and you will not feel normal for a day or 2 there. The first day, you really don't notice anything as you're eating, because your body is so far not in keto. And about, you know, depending on the person, day 2 or 3, you'll start to feel a little weird, so to speak. You might have a little cloudiness in your, you know, in the way you do things. You might get a little tired. There's nothing that's crazy. One of the big things is to make sure you stay hydrated during that period. Anytime you're on the keto, or any diet in general, you want to stay hydrated, but you want to make sure you drink a bunch of extra water, and you want to make sure you get enough sodium just to make sure that you stay hydrated and you don't get any headaches or anything like that. But I'm telling you, once you get through that little period, you feel either completely normal or you feel better than normal. And I have not had one single joint, knee issue. I mean, this morning I did legs. I did 8 heavy sets of squats, which before I even did the plant-based thing, I couldn't do 2 sets without my knees killing me. I did 8 sets of heavy squats, 4 to 6 rep range, and I had 0 knee pain, 0. And you know, I'm what, hour and a half or so after, 0 knee pain. And I think it's pretty amazing, because a lot of the foods that I've been totally avoiding, that's all I'm consuming now. With the meats, the bacon, steaks, hamburgers, all that stuff. But remember, no bread, no carbs, all that kind of, And the whole deal is when you're in ketosis, your body excretes ketones. That's the way it works. I'm not a biologist, don't claim to be. Not going to try to explain why that happens. But the reason I mentioned it is because if you want to know when you're in ketosis, you got to get this little, one of these little deals right here, little ketone test strips. They're in a kits. You can get them at any drugstore. Diabetics use them, and because it helps them, monitor their blood sugar and whatnot. But you can get these little test strips, and all you do is you go in the bathroom and you whiz on the end of one of these things, and then you count 15 seconds, and then you match it up to where you're at here on the spectrum. And you just want to make sure that you're at least in the small to moderate range. Most of the time, since I've been on it, the first day or two, I was down here in the nothing range, and then after about 3 days, I bumped up to where it was just starting to show some traces, and then a couple days after that, I kind of moved here to the small amount, and then I've been kind of bouncing back and forth in between small and moderate. That's just where I've been. I'm not in any type of keto groups to where I compare my pee strips to other people's. I don't know what everybody else is doing. Yeah, I don't know, but that's just where I'm at. But as long as your body's excreting some sort of, some amount of ketones, you are in ketosis. And what happens with that is that, just to give you, long ways into the video, to give you a short explanation on why, ketosis is different. Because your body normally uses sugar as its first energy source. Sugar burns quickest. It's the most efficient for the body to convert into energy. It is, let's say, the gasoline of energy for your body. So you have like gasoline, and it stores. You have as you eat meals throughout the day, you keep this glycogen, which is the blood sugar. You keep that glycogen levels up at a certain level as you eat carbs, and they maintain. Well, after a couple of days of not consuming carbs or consuming very few carbs, those levels finally get to a point to where your body stops looking for that glycogen for fuel, and then it starts converting to using the fat. That's the next most efficient source of protein, or of energy, excuse me. So that's what happens, is your body slowly converts to start burning fat. And if you're, I don't know, there's very few people out there that don't have a little extra fat they wouldn't mind just putting in an incinerator and burning right off of their body. That's pretty much what the keto diet does. It really helps burn into those fat reserves. Once it runs through, the fat in your digestion system, it'll run through that, and then you start burning fat that's stored on your body in a more efficient manner. It's used by, weightlifters, and there's a lot of keto bodybuilders, not a ton of keto athletes, because they just, I don't know, there's a few. But as far as, like professional athletes, a lot of them do the plant-based, but they tend to rely more heavily on carbs. But there are a lot of runners, a lot of distance runners now that do the keto diet and have had great success, really enjoy it, because what happens on long marathon runs is, people will be running and they'll run through all of their energy source, all their glycogen levels in their entire body, unless they're able to continue to eat carbs and carbs and carbs and carbs and carbs and carbs to maintain those levels, because they're burning so many calories. Those distance runners, especially marathon type runners, endurance marathon runners, which run 2 and 3 marathons in a row, those cats eat like cheesecakes while they run, and like anything that's super calorie dense, because their body's just burning through so much of that. But what those runners found out is that once they're in ketosis, they don't have they have to worry about those carbs as much. They just have to worry about ingesting enough fat to keep burning. And they've, from all the things I've read, had a lot of success. So I'm just going to do this keto diet for about a month, see what happens. I've got plenty of food, got plenty more pea strips, and as you can see, I got even a banana here. That's not for me. It's from my daughter, my 8-year-old. She likes bananas, and she comes to the office sometimes. So that's how we roll. But man, you know, as you go about your daily life, and you want to try this keto thing, I would try to give it a minimum time period, because you know, I really don't want to lose weight, but in, let's see, almost 2 weeks of doing it, I'm right at 2 weeks, I've lost about 3 pounds. Don't tell my wife, she'll be mad. I'm not trying to lose weight. I wouldn't mind leaning out a little bit, getting a little bit leaner, but I really don't want to lose any weight. I normally weigh about 155. I'm 5'8", or like that much over 5'8", maybe. I'm not under 5'8", but anyway, I'm about 155 normally. And right now I'm down to about 151. When I came back from the last tournament, I was 154, and I've ended up losing about 3 pounds, roughly. You know, I try to weigh about every other day. You don't want to go crazy weighing your body and then getting all freaked out. Once a week is probably the best way to do it. But I'm not actually counting calories with the keto. I think that's, I want to try it without counting any of the calories. I eat until I'm full, and then, you know, I'll go 3 to 4 hours, and once I get hungry, I'll eat again. That's just kind of how I would do my portion on this keto. I'm gonna do it for a month and see what happens. So I'll definitely do a follow-up video on that, and we'll see where I end up totally. But yep, I am on the keto, and energy level is good, sleep is good, don't have any problems with any of that kind of stuff, and I'm really enjoying eating meat again. It's fun. But we'll see how this ends up going. And so far, so good on the joints. I think this is amazing. I want to do it for a full month, and then I can give people, you know, maybe a better outlook on things to do, things not to do. You know, like, you know, ketchup is a no-no. Mustard is a yes. Mustard has 0 carbs. Ketchup has, you know, 5, 6, 7 carbs per serving, whatever. So that's a no-no. So those are the things you have to kind of learn, what condiments you can use, what meats you can eat. You got to read a lot of labels. If you can shop at the grocery store, that's much better on keto, but drink a lot of water, that kind of stuff. And anybody out there that wants to try keto, I would recommend Thanksgiving to Christmas. There's a month. Try that. Try it if you want to. Or just wait till the first of the year. That's your New Year's resolution. Boom. Month of January. We're going keto. If you have weight you want to lose, if you have joint issues, or you just want to change it up. And do not, I want to just stress this here at the end, do not worry about cholesterol with all those fats that you're going to be eating. Do not worry about that. There are studies upon studies upon studies that have been done on the keto diet, Atkins diet. There is no increase. You will probably see a decrease in your bad cholesterol. You'll probably see a decrease in your good cholesterol. Your total cholesterol will go down. Your blood pressure will probably be better. I mean, it does really good things. It's almost mind-blowing, but what it does, I mean, we're changing our blood chemistry here. Your blood is becoming more acidic. It's totally changing the way that your body uses the energy with fat versus, carbohydrates. We're changing the way that your body runs. We're switching from gasoline to diesel fuel. This is a big deal. Do not worry about that. And I wouldn't worry as much about the sodium intake either. I don't think that's as much of a problem when you're on there, but I'm not a doctor and I'm not a biologist. So be sure to consult with your doctor if you have any questions about going on the keto diet or anything like that. So that's all I can say. And I will tell you one quick story. My dad, this has got to be 30 years ago. He was on the board of a hospital. My dad is an attorney for many, many years, and he was on the board of a hospital as legal counsel. He was on it for free. It was a nonprofit hospital, so he was just trying to help him out. And he went on this board, and they got into a discussion about the Atkins diet, because there was really no keto diet at that point. And he told the people that he was on the Atkins diet, and the doctors, he had been on the Atkins diet. The doctor said, one of the doctors on there, he said, "Man, that's just going to blow up your cholesterol." And he said, "I'll bet you $100 that it does not. I'll do it for a month. You can test me before and after. and I'll promise you all my numbers will go down. And the doctor said, I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet. So sure enough, they left the board meeting. My dad went right down to the lab, had all his blood work done. They ran his blood. A month later, they had another board meeting. My dad went down a couple days before, had his blood work done again. They had the 2 blood work pieces of paper there when it was over, and he showed it to the doctor, and he said, "Do you have $100 cash, or what do you want to do?" And he refused to believe. He said, "You didn't do the Atkins diet." He's like, I Bolshevik. I sure did. And sure enough, he paid him $100, and the doctor said his mind was blown, and that he may actually start recommending that diet for certain patients. So that has to be 30 years ago. So I think that's just interesting, and that just goes to show even highly educated people in the medical field. That was 30 years ago, but even today, I think there's a lot more information about it out. So hopefully that will help anybody out there that's interested in the keto diet, and I will definitely give you guys an update later on. So I hope that helps you, and I hope that helps your workouts, because I just had a killer workout this morning, and I can't wait to get out there and get after it again tomorrow. So if you have any questions or comments or anything, hit it up down there in the bottom. I love hearing comments. If anybody else has had any experiences with the keto diet or have any tips for the keto, hit that down there as well. Thanks for watching, guys.